Hey, teachers, you're getting this because you are designated as having an honors course, and you, I think, were not able to attend the honors training that we had at the February ERPD. So, what I'm trying to do is give you a really quick overview. My goal was to meet with all of you in person, but this week earlier kind of got away from me, and I'm in meetings the rest of the week. So, I just wanted to make sure you had what you needed. So, I've included two links in this email. One link is, oh, hold on one second. Okay, so one link is going to be this overview. This is the policy. I would at least skim over this. I'm going to talk about a couple of points, but I'm not going to go over all of it. But one of the links is this policy, and then one of the links is this document, and this is the rubric. So you'll need to make a copy, and that's going to obviously bring this up right here. And what I would do is I would change copy of to your last name. So I'm going to actually have to do this for my own VIS course. But this is the gist of what you're going to be turning in. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But right now, what I want to do is kind of hit on what it is. So what we're hitting on, and again, this is a DPI requirement that we're trying to meet up with, is that honors level courses are distinguishable from standard level courses in depth and scope. So depth and scope are the two words you really want to keep in mind, which means you want to avoid things like extra length. And I'll talk about some examples as we go, but we wanted to be able to at least hit on those things. So like for instance, if you're an English teacher, what you want to avoid is length as an honors thing. So if you have your standard level students writing a page and your honors level students writing 2 pages, that's not necessarily an honors differentiation because they're not doing deeper work, they're just doing more work. And so that's kind of what we want to have as the guideline. What I would also recommend is just kind of perusing this presentation. It is 92 slides. You do not need to have it memorized, but it kind of provides the guidelines for what we're looking for, because the 4 pieces are that you'll need to evaluate your course on is acceleration, enrichment, extension, and depth and complexity. That's the gist. I will also say this: if you go through this and you're having to mark not met more than you thought you would, don't stress about it. We recognize that according to the definition, there's going to be lots of courses right now that aren't meeting the standard of an honors course. This is truly a self-assessing rubric so you can see where you are and so that you can look at what needs to be changed between now and next year so that your course actually does reflect an honors course. So be honest. It's okay if you're having to put not met on some things. This is a growth tool. Okay. That said, let's go back to this. The only part on here that I want to do, other than recommending you peruse it on your own, is looking at what an honors level course is and what an honors level course is not. Okay. And so you'll see some different things here. So like independent investigation. One example here could be, let's say your honors students have to do a science fair project, or maybe it's not science fair. I think is it Science Olympiad? Like I know there are other ways to do, but the idea is you could require them to be involved in a competition. If you're an honors EPF teacher, you could require them to be a part of either the economics competition or the personal finance competition. These are actually, there's a stock market simulation game as well. And these are actually like competitions that students can get involved in. That would be one example. Maybe you're a science teacher and you do more labs. So, for instance, this came up at our VIS PLC. Some of our teachers have gizmo labs that are a little more in depth that their honor students do, but they don't require their standard students to do. So that would be an example there. Even things like, and I'm not going to go over all these, increased pace, where some students are able to work faster than others, or your honor students work faster than others. That actually works. In-depth analysis of multiple perspectives, you might see this more in a social studies or an English class than you would in a science or a math class. A social studies teacher might do more inquiries in an honors class. If you need help with inquiries, I can help you with that. We have tons that we have access to. Even things like student agency and choice. So let's say there's an assignment you do with your standard level students, but your honors level students have a choice board. AI is great for designating choice boards. It'll even give you, you can say, I want a choice board activity with 9 choices on this. You could have students, you could ask it to mention that it really needs to be, hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. You could even have it mention that, that this choice board needs to be more of an honors choice board for students who are doing more advanced work and more depth and complexity. These are just kind of some guidelines. It might look different depending on your course and your discipline. And so, but again, we do want to avoid things like just having longer papers. We want to make sure that there's no gotcha grading. So for instance, there might need, as an honors class, there might be a greater need for a rubric. So if you are, my goodness, I am so sorry, y'all. If there might be a greater need for a rubric, so that way there is clarity on exactly what it looks like to get an A. So basically, it's not like you're going to have fewer A's, because if anything, you have more students who are more motivated and who, I apologize, guys. I have a group chat of people who are making fun of me, and that's why you're seeing this. Anyhow, if anything, there should be very clear things. So you might need to create a rubric. Again, AI can really help you create a rubric. That way students can see exactly what needs to be done so that they can achieve that complexity, so they know exactly what to do. So that's actually a way to meet the needs of those more advanced learners, because you're very clearly specifying what needs to be done for that. So anyhow, that's kind of the gist. Please do let me know if you have any questions, and I'm always happy to help. But the idea is, for what we need by March 31st is for you to fill out this rubric, make sure it has your name, go through and select met or not met or exemplary, give me some notes. And then what we need is, for your evidence, we need 2 artifacts of a type of work that you do in your class that shows that it is honors level work. So if it's something that's in your Canvas course, just copy and paste it into a Google Doc, set it so that anyone with the link can view it, and just put a couple evidences there, and then put your syllabus. If you don't have a super detailed syllabus, that's okay. We're not talking about a list of all assignments that students will do. We are simply talking about like an overview of what they're learning. Maybe the 8 units you're going to teach that year. Because the goal is, moving forward, we need to have a syllabus for standard level classes and a syllabus for honors level classes that looks different. If this is creating an issue where a lot of folks are overwhelmed, then that's something where we, as an instructional leadership team, may need to create a template for you to look at. And so, my goodness, I apologize, guys, where we may need to create a tool for you to help you out with that. So please let me know if you have any questions. So 3 things: rubric, 2 artifacts, and a link to the syllabus in the rubric. Please get that to us to March 31st. We're trying to create some time where you can actually work on this. I have some plans forthcoming. But let me know if you have any questions. The goal is to get this by March 31st. And please let me know if you have any questions or if anything's getting to be too much.